Yesterday, a very disturbing video surfaced online of a science teacher at the Bole Senior High School in the Savannah region, where it is alleged he was having some sexual activity with a final year student of the school. Now, from the videos that a lot of us have seen online, you can tell that they were on the school property in the lab when all of this when they were doing what they were doing, and someone was outside recording the act, hence the video that was posted online. Now, when this video hits online, the Ministry of Education immediately put out a press release indicating that the management of the Ghana Education Service has become aware of the whole situation and they were going to investigate. But as at now, the teacher has been suspended and investigations are being done as to what exactly is happening, why it happened, why this is even something that is still happening, especially in our educational sector. Now, let's talk about social media reaction, because I feel like whenever things like this come on social media or we see situations like this, a lot of people will come with different thoughts, different perceptions, different corners and different sides, right? Now, some people have said that this is totally wrong, which is like the right thing. This is totally wrong because there is no way in any sense where it is okay or it's even appropriate that a teacher of a school has any form of sexual relationship with a student. It is unheard of. It is wrong, totally wrong. Whether caught on camera, whether at home, whatever it is totally wrong. Because a lot of these kids that are in school or in these secondary schools are actually underage. They are actually underage. We are talking 14, 15, 16, 17-year-olds. Just a few amounts of them are above 18. So you're trying to tell me that for some reason, you as a teacher that is supposed to foresee to ensure that these students learn, parents don't just spend their money on school fees and all of that knowledge is actually impacted into the students, is now looking past that responsibility and now involving yourself in sexual relationships with the students. Now, another side is also saying, there's really nothing wrong, which I find very strange. Because in our society where we are still trying to voice out and then educate people on grooming, educate people on pedophilia and all of these things, how do you see a situation like this and say, there's nothing wrong? She from the video, she looks like she was okay. She looks like, she had consent to the whole thing. Some even went as far as saying she looked like she was enjoying it. What is that even supposed to mean? What is that supposed to mean? And this is what I said the last time when there was an issue with a teacher and a student where the teacher was seen physically throwing hands with the student. I said the minute you as a teacher do things like this, you have destroyed your career that you used your hard work to build. You've destroyed it. Because not only can no school or no authority fully trust you, but society now is just going to eyeball you, because at this point, which responsible school would look at you after a scandal like this and say, you can actually come and teach in our school, or come, we'll take you. Which school? And then genuinely, it is so sad that it takes videos, it takes audios before things like this are addressed. Because situations like this happen in a lot of schools, but because there is no physical evidence, attention is not being paid to the whole thing. And then it's taking a whole video for GES to now come out to say they want to address the situation, the teacher is this, investigations. What if there was actually never a video and a student came out to say he or she saw this and that and that and that? Would it have been addressed? Would it have been taken serious? These are some of the questions that I find myself asking, and some people are even saying, it's really not a big deal. If she's over 18, then it's really not a big deal. What do you mean it's not a big deal? As a teacher, teacher put there to impact into these students, what business do you have in having sexual relationship with your student? And from reports, she is also a final year student. What business of yours is this? Like, at what point did you pass just impacting knowledge, directing the students, to now wanting to have sexual relationships with these students? And this is not even a one-side something. No, it's not just the girls. We are talking the boys too. Yes, the male children as well in this secondary school, they experience these things, but because there are no physical evidence to back up these claims, they are ignored. And it's genuinely really sad and concerning that it takes physical evidence before things like this are addressed. And now investigations are going to be done, and if the girl is above 18, then she would have to be asked if it is consensual. Then if she is below, then you have to face the law. Like, what is all of this? At what point do we call a spade a spade? It is wrong. It is totally wrong. There is nothing right. Like, when I saw this video, I was so disturbed. I was disturbed to the bone. I was disturbed because like, and you can tell he was so comfortable. He was so comfortable doing it like, okay, like it was some bedroom or some safe space to them. And I'm going to address, I genuinely, I do not even care what anybody says. When, if someone comes to say, I'm sounding biased, I don't care. You, the teacher, you know better. You should know better. At least I'm believing that before you become a teacher, you go through some examinations that prove that, oh, you know better. These are kids from different positionings in life. Some of them are privileged, some are not. So for you to be a teacher, then you move past just impacting to now doing things like this. It's just nasty and dirty. Let's call a spade a spade. And then you still see people supporting this, trying to make it look like, she looks like she was okay, she was comfortable, like it was consensual. What is consensual about that? What is it's really, really disturbing. There's this saying that a madman's dance is only funny when he's not your family member. If this was your sister, and even if she was 18, and you see a video like this of her and a teacher, would you still react the same way? Like, ask yourself these questions. It's really disturbing and sad, because you will still see people to support him. And I will not be surprised that investigations will be done. Probably they would do a whole thing. Probably he gets to face the law, or his license to teach is taken away from him. But you will still see schools that will take him. And it's really, really, really sad. Now, when we see stories like this, you people know for a fact that we're definitely going to have comments, especially when this story pops up on X. Now, someone said, the girl can tell the school that he allowed the teacher. That's all, because she dey feel the guy they hold while. Like, listen to this. Like, how do you sit down and say something like this? He they hold what? He they hold what? Like, it's just really, really sad that when you see things like, instead of us to call it what it is, you will still see people backing it and making it look like, oh, it's really not that bad. It is horrible. It is. Someone also said, these kids know they hear, oh, hey, this is why them know they respect teachers. And genuinely, this is also another reason why a lot of students, or you see a lot of students challenging their teachers, because they see things like this. They hear things like this. You'd see a teacher who is supposed to know better, who is supposed to impact, trying to move to a student, hey, I like you and all. Like, it's why? What happened to your age mates? Like, what happened to older women? Like, what exactly is happening? And this is supposed to be a point in these kids, their lives, where they're supposed to be learning, observing, learning new things, dropping bad things and all of that. So at what point do you feel comfortable to do things like this with a student and still see that face to correct her when she's doing something wrong? How do you even balance that? 1 minute you are in her face, I like you. The next minute, go and pick that. How do you even say it? And then when you see these students cursing these teachers out or insulting them, you would think, oh, they are just being disrespectful. It is because it is partly partly because of things like this. It's partly because of things like this. And it's really, really sad because situations like this happen day in, day out, especially in a lot of secondary schools. Someone also said, if she's below 16, the teacher will be in trouble. But look at how the underage girl is moaning. She looks visibly enjoying it, but it's the man that the law would drag. This is call for a review on the set. Hey. You see, one thing I have come to learn is that Twitter is not a space where people actually talk because they have thought about what they want to say. I genuinely feel like they just say it because they feel like they should also have an opinion on issues. Because how do you say something like this? If it was a woman, if roles were reversed and it was a younger boy and a woman, the law would still drag the woman. So what's the issue? What is the issue exactly? Let's learn to call a spade a spade. Like let's learn to call things what they are. It is wrong. He is a teacher. He should stick to teaching. He should stick to what he has learnt. Let him come and impact knowledge and go home. As to say akolani akolaboni and at the end he should focus on his teaching and go home. The fact is that some of you are still behind him talking about and me, one thing I've also come to understand is you will always get people to support you. But when it comes for you to face the law, then you face it alone. And I genuinely hope we get updates on this particular story because there's always the saying that when they use one person as example, those who are wise will start to learn. Anyways, that's all the updates we have on this story. I'll bring you guys more updates when we have them. Don't forget, this is what they go on here at the Charley Studios. We'll catch you on the next one.